Hello and welcome to Best WP7 Games. Today we're taking a look at Battlewagon, which is one of last week's Xbox Live games, and one of the 3 Xbox Live games, an unusually large quantity of games there are. I've started a new game, wiped out my old save, the lengths I'll go to for you, my loyal viewers. I'll let you see a little bit of the intro here, which is probably the nicest part of the game. It's quite an amusing setup. I like the sort of mimicking of old tapestry artwork. And it tells an endearingly daft story. It's actually something that goes through the game in general. It's one of the more endearing features is it's got a nice light sense of humour. So anyway, when you start, you're presented with this map, which you can scroll around, and you tap on these little missions to start them. So the first mission I'm picking is a catapult mission, signified by this symbol of a launching catapult. Because this is the first mission I've played in this new game, it's pointing out my character and explaining how the games work. So the catapult missions are fairly straightforward. In this case it's a game of skittles, so I have to hit all those little skittles on the ground. I have to avoid those crows, and which are indestructible, and either avoid or demolish and then avoid the demolish and then bypass those barrels. So you see I've destroyed one there, so now I can repeat that shot and hopefully get the final skittle. Here we go. I do like the fact we're apparently in a universe where, again, barrels are destructible, but crows aren't. This is made particularly strange by the fact that later catapult levels involve you shooting down the crows, which suddenly stop being impervious to your attacks. You earn gold, which appears in that little treasury. Doesn't really serve any purpose as far as I've seen, aside from filling up that treasury. Anyway, this is the other mode that the game offers, which is a wagon game, which is it's a level where you have to actually just get your wagon past all those obstacles and into the little area past that post. Again, this is the first time it's explaining how all of these things work. As you can see, basically you've got 5 different types of upgrade, within which there are multiple options. The further you get through the game, the more options you gain, and all the different options have different abilities. So some are useful for clearing away sort of small animals, others can help you deal with the larger inanimate objects, and so on. You basically need to pick the correct combination for the level. So that one was effective against light animals, this one against large stationary objects. In this case I'll go for the one which is usable against animals, which means I've then got enough weight left, because you're limited on the amount of weight you can load up with. I've got enough left over to upgrade my wheels, which is kind of pointless in this level, and to increase the health of my wagon in general by upgrading its body. I think I didn't quite flick hard enough there. So as you can see, I lost the health bar at the top right there. I didn't go down when I hit that chicken because of my the upgrade I put on. However, I did lose health against the rocks. And yes, I hadn't turned the wheel far enough, so I fell short of my target and spontaneously combusted. A little bit odd, and it means I have to restart the mission. It's a bit awkward. So let me go through this again. Obviously it's not too bad in the early levels when you know exactly what you need, but in later levels when you might actually have to put a small amount of thought into which upgrades to pick, it can be annoying having to restart if you then misjudge the wheel turning. Right, so that's the wagon type level. So those are the 2 modes of the game, and then there's a third combination, which is the actual sieges, which are the aim of the game. You are meant to be taking back your kingdom by conquering the castles with your battle wagon. So these combine the 2 elements. First you have to outfit your wagon to get past these obstacles and to land within this gap between these 2 posts. If you go beyond it you explode, if you fall too short you explode. So again, try to decide what's best to get. I'll try the thing to get... no, I can't do that because I can't upgrade my health as well. It might well have been enough anyway, but... So you can see that would be effective against tar, which is entirely irrelevant here, so there's no point upgrading my tyres. All I've got is obstacles. So I'll switch to the ram that's effective against the animals, and then increase my health so I can withstand the damage from the rocks and such. There we go, just about make it, I think. So yes, having done this, assuming I get to the end, I'll get to launch my catapult. And yes, I made it. A bit short, a bit awkward to aim here. You get 2 bombs to fire, and you try to get, what you're trying to do is launch the bomb so that it falls short, so it passes the barrier, and then stops a bit earlier than that. Obviously if you hit the gold door you get the most coin, you get less for silver and less again for bronze, but any of those will successfully pass over. And I failed. I hit the barrier, and so now I have to restart. At least in this case it just resets the level. So you lose a life, which means you lose gold at the end of it. Which seems a little bit mean, since the only benefit you're getting from losing a life rather than restarting is having to wait for it to restart and having to re-outfit your vehicle. There's no other benefit. You notice it's forgotten that I destroyed that barrier with my bomb, so you get no benefits that way either. I've landed closer this time, so it should be easier to angle it. Yes, so it falls short, but also passes the barrier. And there we go, gold. So yes, that's how all the sieges work. Later ones just have harder obstacles, require more work on the construction end, will have an archer firing upon you, so you have less time to line up your shots. But aside from that, the game never really changes. And to be honest, it's rather underwhelming. Both modes are very simple, there are better equivalents elsewhere, and it's quite expensive for what it is. I can't really recommend Battlewagon, but it is available on the marketplace right now.